In Port Charles, in general, unemployment is at 6.7%. But in Charles Street, unemployment is at 20%. And the jobless rate for men of the Charles Street district, ages 18 to 40, is at 36%. Now, within the neighborhood, only 18% of the commerce is generated by businesses owned by residents. Now, I know this sounds like just a bunch of numbers to you, but we are here to put faces on those numbers because those unemployed are our friends and our brothers. They are our future. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we, as the board of the Charles Street Development Foundation, are here to address.
All right.
Thank you, Granny Mae. Now, this is our first meeting, so why don't we just introduce ourselves? I'm Justice Ward. I'm an attorney, the newest member of the Port Charles City Council, and I have the distinct pleasure of co-chairing this committee with, well, I will let him introduce himself.
Thank you, Justice. I'm Edward Quartermain, founder of ELQ Enterprises. And at the risk of patting myself on the back, Justice failed to mention that this foundation was my idea.
I'll pat you.
There you go. All right.
Well, I am Lee Baldwin. Also work as an attorney here. I was once mayor of this town, and I've spent well, most of my adult life here.
I'm Alan Quartermain Jr. I'm a division manager for ELQ, and I also sit on that board. And along with Lee and my grandfather, I'm partners in certain Charles Street properties. I'm also going to be serving as the overseer of the day-to-day functions for the foundation on behalf of ELQ.
Jason Quartermain, pre-med at PCU, and a community activist.
Orville Leeds. I'm owner and CEO of Empire State Lumber. We have lumber mills throughout the region. And I also own Leeds Hardware on Mason Street. I'm here to listen and do what I can.
I'm Pastor Samuel Phillips. I bring you greetings from the Mount Hebron Baptist Church, and I also am very delighted to be here.
Simone Hardy, resident pediatrician at General Hospital, and I'm also a mother and a concerned citizen.
I'm Mary Mae Ward, director of the Bradley Ward House, a community activist, and I am very proud to be a part of this endeavor.
We're glad you're all here. And first order of business. Lee Baldwin and I, as co-counsel of the foundation, are drawing up and filing the necessary paperwork to have ourselves established as a tax-free entity. The second order, as it seems to me, should be formulating the principles and philosophy of the CSDF, a statement of purpose, as it were. And once that is agreed upon by all here, then we can make our announcement to the community and to the city.
Good.
Keisha Ward, my cousin, has graciously agreed to transcribe and record the notes of our meetings until we can open a bank account and hire a staff. Now, as Edward pointed out, this was his idea, and I was wondering if we could get him to step up here and explain the genesis.
Certainly. Now, certain circumstances have presented Lee and AJ and me with the ownership of a sizable area in the heart of Charles Street. Now, we decided that what would be best for these properties would be to develop and encourage community-owned and operated businesses, employing the residents of Charles Street, some of those formerly nameless and faceless people that Justice mentioned. Now, our partnership will deed these properties to ELQ, which will underwrite the foundation. Once our goals have been set, we will establish a budget, and then we will make loans to qualified applicants under a process overseen by this board. Now, as to what these goals are, I would like to have Justice speak to his particular vision.
Well, yes. Ideally, I see this as a broad-based program that goes beyond simple business opportunities. The foundation invests in local entrepreneurs, but the return on that investment could be reinvested into the community. One area that we might consider is for a model elementary school. Another urgent need of the community is for a medical clinic. Ideally, this would be a free clinic, but perhaps we could ask those who were able to pay what they could.
What does that mean, you question his approach?
Everyone, please, don't get me wrong. Vision is a wonderful thing. But this is neither the time nor the place to be discussing elementary schools and free clinics. The intent of the foundation was always to invest in business, to raise employment rates, and then to reinvest the profits back into business. It was never meant to be a Band-Aid to cure all the ills of Charles Street.
I'm sorry, but I disagree. A favorable business environment includes community infrastructures and support systems that will make the neighborhood a more desirable place to live and work.
Well, I'm afraid you're biting off more than any of us should be willing to chew.
No, I think Jason has a point. If the schools are bad and the nearest medical services are across town, people aren't going to want to buy homes or set up businesses.
No, I'm sorry. I don't buy this bleeding heart approach. I mean, the next thing is you're going to want us to support soup kitchens for the homeless.
Why not someday?
Because that was never our intent.
The intent is to make the most of an opportunity. I see nothing wrong with setting high goals for ourselves.
The problem is that you want to macro-manage the entire Charles Street community. And if you knew anything at all about business, you'd understand that all these wonderful little side effects that you want to see occur will occur automatically if we create a healthy business environment.
Absolutely, but you have to plan for these things. You have to set your priorities.
Well, I'm afraid you're just being a little unrealistic.
And you are?
Well, I think I know something about business.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You're division manager in charge of paper clips.
Come on, boys, come on. Now, be nice.
No, it's all right. Well, my brother's there busy slinging insults. I'm trying to come up with logical and viable goals for the foundation.
AJ, why don't you and Justice prepare written proposals for the board's consideration?
Fine.
That way we can look at the various ideas and have further debate at the next meeting.
Thank you, Edward. Oh, by the way, AJ had expressed some concern over the screening process for the loan applicants. Well, I have here some research from the Charles Street Savings and Loan regarding their experience with default. And it appears that the risk is much lower among those with no prior credit history than those small businesses and companies with established credit.
And why do you imagine that is?
If I may, I say those who never had a chance seem more highly motivated and conscientious.
Exactly. They see this as perhaps their only opportunity, and they don't want to blow it.
Well, I'm sure I'll give this my full attention, Justice.
Thank you. Now, if there are no objections, I move that we adjourn this meeting. I have some city council business. Keisha will see everyone out.
I'm going by there. I'll drop you off.
Well, I wanted to stop and get a bite to eat. Do you have time for a quick cup of coffee?
I'd love to.
Perfect.
I don't know who AJ's trying to impress. Oh, besides, you, grandfather, and anyone else who will listen.
I can't let him leave, not like this. It isn't that Justice doesn't like you personally. It's simply that the two of you are politically, economically, and philosophically about 180 degrees apart.
No, I expected this from Justice, just not from my own brother.
I don't have to roll over and spout the party line just because my name is the same as yours.
And that is why you two are going to be so good for each other. Checks and balances. AJ, you'll see, Justice is very fair. He responds to logic. And by the way, you wouldn't object if you wanted to add a little humor.
Meaning?
Meaning, lighten up a little. Come on, we might have a little fun here.
Come on, I never even seen that guy crack a smile, let alone laugh.